Run to the dollar store and go and grab a glass bottle. We are going to start off this craft with a cleaned out plastic bottle. So now we're going to line this up with the bottle. Go and draw a circle for where this is going to go and fit. Go and cut it out, put your glass into the hole. Now we're going to go and paint our bottle. Let it dry. Let's go and get these fake pearls and start to string them with some pipe cleaner, but leave one end unbended. We're going to go and poke some holes into our plastic bottle. Take the pipe cleaner, stick it in there, take the other pieces, go and stick them in as well. Hot glue where it meets with the pipe cleaner and also the bottle. Got some fairy lights, and we're going to go and stick them into where we have the center hole. Now let's take this base here, stick it in place. I am using cotton for this. Now let's go and glue these down. Use your fingers to go and poof it out. Go and use a fork to really go and poof it out even more. This cloud lamp is sure to light up any room, is so much fun to go and make, and is upcycled.
Let's start with a plastic bottle. Slowly cut off the bottom part. I am going to follow the natural ridges of the bottom of the bottle and just round the edges. I'm going to grab a small tea light and just hold that plastic near the flame. What it's going to do is slightly melt the petals, making them look like natural petals. The next step is to paint these. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to punch a hole. Then I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach the two pieces together, tie some string through that hole, and this makes a beautiful sun catcher in my window.
I'm going to take these two empty plastic water bottles and I'm going to remove the caps. I don't need those. And I'm going to take a sharp instrument. This is just a crafting tool, and I'm just going to poke a hole into the plastic water bottle and flip it over and do one on the other side. Then I'm going to take a yarn needle and using some embroidery thread, and then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to push it through one of the holes and pull it back out the other hole. And then on the same string, I'm going to do it again through the other bottle, and now I have both these water bottles on the same line of string. This old shelf that I had, and I painted it, and then I just let that dry. I came in with these scrap 2x4 pieces. Once all my pieces were dry, I placed my 2x4s on top. Holding it, I flipped it over, and then from the back side, using a drill, I drilled in 2-inch screws, and then I came in with these brackets. Take these water bottles, and I'm going to attach the string to the top of my brackets. So I did cut out a decal with my Cricut cutting machine, and we are going to show Zoe how this works. And so all she has to do is kind of come over and bite the water balls or flip them and try and get the treats out.
Go ahead and remove the lid, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of cut down, take some apple cider vinegar, and I'm gonna pour that inside. Take the lid and place it upside down. So I've just got some good old painter's tape. I'm just going to tape these together, and the flies will go in here to find the apple cider vinegar. It's a bug trap. Just have an empty water bottle, add just water to it. This is a punch, and all I'm gonna do is just poke random holes into the lid, and I'm gonna screw it onto the top. So I've made myself an indoor watering can, or you could use this outside on your porch too. Another place you can use the water bottles is to use it as a self-watering system so that you don't have to worry about watering them every day.
So you're going to need 2 boxes. Now we're going to cut off all of the extra little cardboard pieces, take a pair of jeans that are washed and lay them out. We're going to cut off both of the legs. After that is cut, we're going to go and measure the fabric that's going inside. After those are cut out, let's put some glue in the inner portion. You can use either hot glue or some E6000 glue, and after you have each section glued down, go and cut the corners and then secure it at the sides. So I'm measuring this up now, and I'm seeing how much material this is going to go and cover. But at the edge here, I'm going and gluing it down. Now I'm putting some glue onto the box. Let's go and take this and put it down. Go and take off any extra material, but do leave a small amount on the bottom so you can glue this to the bottom. And now let's go and finish off the rest of the box. And while that dries, we're going to go and cut off some of these little tiny pieces for the belt loop, glue these onto the sides. Now we can go and write on the box. Let's go and fill this toys box with some cat toys. And it fits perfectly underneath my cat's scratching post. For my other box, I'm going to use it to go and organize my bathroom closet.
I took this fleecy fabric softener plastic container, and then using an X-Acto knife, I just cut off the top portion. Next, I'm going to take some craft paper. I'm scrunching it up to create like a really rough texture, and then I'm going to tape it on where I need tape to hold hold in place, and just cut out my handle, and then wrapping that again in masking tape. When I'm done with this, I'm going to create my paper mache, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip the envelopes up into tiny little pieces. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of water before I turn on my blender. So I lay out the Mod Podge, and then I just grab a handful of the slurry and I just spread it around onto my plastic container. I let it set for a full day, and this is my finished vase here.
Start with one produce bag and roll it in on itself. Continue to do the same with the 3 other produce bags. Secure the outer net to one of the metal clasps on the end of the netting. Now you have a DIY Scrub Daddy for tough dishes.
CDs? I'll bet you've got a box of them stored somewhere. Using a free online template or drawing freehand, draw the shape of 2 butterflies of the exact same shape and size onto a piece of cardboard. Also, draw and cut a strip of cardboard that is about 1 inch in width and is long enough to completely wrap around your butterfly. Bend and curve the strip as needed and tape on the inside edge of the butterfly. Take the second butterfly cutout and tape it to the top of the cardboard strip. Once that edge is taped, tape the outer edge of the other side as well. Combine a 1-to-1 mixture of flour and water, and then add additional water to get the glue consistency that you want. Cut or tear strips of newspaper and begin to paper mache the outside of the butterfly box. Once dry, spray paint the paper mache butterfly with a metallic silver paint and let that dry. Grab your protective eyeglasses, safety first, and a pair of scissors. Begin to cut the CDs into small squares. Because they soaked in the warm water, cutting them will be slightly easier. Using a hot glue gun, begin to glue the square tiles to the butterfly. Once you have the front and back done, glue tiles to the sides. You can now set your new butterfly on a shelf or table, or hang it from a ceiling or from a tree in your yard.
First, we're going to repurpose a 1-gallon glass pickle jar, and then we have some decorative nautical rope. I'm measuring out vertical strips. Now, once I get all of my strips cut, I'm going to start using my glue gun to attach them on the side of the jar. And all I'm doing is I'm evenly spacing these out, and then I'll go in the middle of those sections and put a piece of rope, and then I'll do that, continue on until all 8. And I'm just going to start somewhere and kind of glue in a few places as I'm wrapping around, and then I'll glue the other 2, and it end up being a stack of 3. Just to give it a finished look. It would look good staged and styled for many different seasons.
Take an X-Acto knife and remove the lid flaps. Take hemp rope and a hot glue gun to begin wrapping the rope around the box. Take twine and begin gluing it to the perimeter of the bottom of the box. Take balsa wood oval or circle shapes and paint them with black paint. Print words to be displayed on the side of the box. Cut them out and use pencil to cover the back of the paper. Then trace the font on the balsa wood. Use a chalkboard pen or a white paint pen to cover the pencil traced font. Use a hot glue gun to attach the labels to the side of the box. There you have it, an inexpensive way to create your own pantry storage for your home for less than $10.